back to back, a little taste, a little sample. It's much easier to be drinking this at 18:15 than it is to be drinking it basically at about 11:15 in the morning. We toasted when we beat the All Blacks in Wellington. We now toast. We are the Castle Rugby Championship back-to-back winners, Zels, 29-27 at Twickers. Ollie was there with his mate Adam. They had a great time. Boka! It was never a 2-point game.
Milady, the record books will show it was a 2-point game, but who cares? Who cares? The Springboks beat Argentina. They are Rugby Championship champions again. They are back-to-back World Cup winners, back-to-back Rugby Championship champions. We're running out of things to win, mate. We might need to move the country to the Northern Hemisphere so we can win the Six Nations.
Look, I did enjoy Stephen Kitsoff and Jean de Villiers in the technical zone on SuperSport today. And they asked Jean, what does he think of the game? He said, well, he's just trying to understand how does Sia lift the trophies now? Because it's technically it's getting a bit different. Which one does he do better in how he lifts? The Lions Series win, the Freedom Cup, the Nelson Mandela Plate, the World Cup, or the Castle Rugby Championship title. I just thought it was a cool contest. 70,000 pitched up. Argentina are financially glorious winners. 70,000 people paying in pounds for their home game. They played for respect. They got that. Brilliant opening 30 minutes and refused to go away at 29-13. I thought they were gone. I texted you and said there'll be another 2 tries here. And that's kind of where this championship has been. They then got given a wonderful gift from Cheslin Colby, 29-20. And you always had that sense they were going to score in the end when it was too late. But I felt their championship deserved that kind of finish as opposed to being rolled again. And the Boks won. And, you know, the Boks won by 3 points, 3 1-point victories. 2023 World Cup, we didn't care. I think the boys have gone a bit soft, giving us a 2-point win.
I love that, mate. I love it. Absolutely. We are so used to just sneaking these big games by 1 point. And thanks to Tony Ball, mate, we've doubled the output. It's a 2-point victory in a big final, mate. But in all seriousness, very chuffed. I think there was much more at stake for us in Argentina. You could tell it in the way the game played out. I'm not sure whether you could say it was nerves, but certainly a little bit of tightness because there was a lot riding on this result for the Boks. And a relatively useful team by their standards in some positions. They solved a few problems in the game. It had its ups, it had its downs. Lots to work on in this performance, but ultimately they won. The points are on the board, mates. They came away with the win, and they are Rugby Championship champions again.
You know, to quote Sir Clive Woodward when England won the 2003 Rugby World Cup final, Johnny Wilkinson's late drop goal. And he said he's never watched the game again. There will be no Monday review because we won. We got the W. I think in the context of the Rugby Championship, there doesn't need to be a review. We won.
Yes.
And that's what we had to do.
Yes.
And what I felt was important was the youngsters went out and won. And that was like it had all the trappings of a final. 70,000 people at Twickenham against a side who had nothing to lose. If Argentina got rolled by 30 points, whoopie-doo. We've done that to them before. They got the most incredible start. I thought they were outstanding for 30 minutes. They cut us to shreds. I mean, their backs have been very good. They were physical in the contact. They threw everything at us. How it was 13-10 at halftime, Zels, was as big a mystery as how they didn't get 7 forwards sent off at scrum time when we won 10 scrum penalties. But 29-27, people may look at the scoreboard and go, oh, it was close. It really wasn't close. I mean, we played the most important 20 minutes just before halftime and the 15 after halftime. We played them as world champions. We played them as the best team in the league. And I think that's what got us and gave us the comfort. You know, in an ideal world, you want to get one more try. It's 36-20 and you feel like it's a comfortable win. But what it does do, like you said, even though there's no Monday video review, looking ahead to the 5 tests in November, it does give us that kind of perspective. It keeps us humble. It puts feet on the ground and says, hey, it wasn't like we rolled them 72-27, 29-27. Means people say, yeah, it was close. It wasn't really close, but it's close enough for us to go think about a few things.
No,
what
100%.
are those things?
And for me, Mate, I can see that fish hook. Mate, for me, I really enjoyed that third quarter. What I liked most about this game was it played out as a test match. For the first time in some time, a team came out and actually was ready to go bare knuckles with us, throw a few punches, land a few punches, eat a few punches. This wasn't about dancing. This game came close to being in the gutter. And I love the way Argentina came out, mate. I think there's a lot of positives for them out of this. Obviously, you never want to lose, but I think there are a lot of positives for them. For the Boks, the positives, mate, for me are Malcolm Marx back to imperious best form. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Very chuffed for Kubi Reinach that he scored a double, but for me, Malcolm Marx was the man of the match. In over the ball, problem at the breakdown, physical, brutal, relentless, and right in the middle of that big scrum. So fabulous performance from him. I think that's a very big positive for the Boks because we've been trying to find some sort of signs of life at hooker this season, and I think we've got it in him there.
Yeah, and you talk about Malcolm Marx. I mean, he played the perfect hour. I mean, it was an incredible hour that he played, a super 60 minutes. And all the talk about the youth of this team, the next gen Boks have arrived, the dawn of the next gen Boks. But today, Damien Delandy at 12, I thought when we needed to go forward, we needed punch, he provided it. He provided calm. Malcolm Marx was just outstanding. A jackal over the ball, brilliant at the back, scrummed well, and some of those hits he put in. And then Peter Steph du Toit. I mean, what else do you say about this guy? Unrelenting and relentless. Those are three Grizzlies who we just hope make it to the next World Cup. Even Itzebet, well, I don't think he's ever been cut up like that in his life. I think they had a target on his back, okay? But he got up and he played and he got up and he played. Eventually had to go for stitches. And I think Rassie said, let the Viking take charge of these things today. Him and Ruan Nortje, all credit to the Pumas. I mean, that's the Pumas we know. Oaks are going to come at you. They're going to fly at you. They're going to play with passion. And I felt what defines this Boks team or what defines great teams is that they win when they play just 50 minutes of 80 in any sport. And they did that. The Boks absorbed the most incredible pressure in the first 30 minutes against a side who has beaten the British and Irish Lions in Dublin, who beat the All Blacks playing that kind of way in Buenos Aires, who should have had the double against Australia, who have beaten us a year ago. We've lost 6 games out of 38, and one of them was against them. So we didn't play any mugs out there today. We played a very good side who are confident on top of their game. And I'm proud of them for showing that kind of respect for what their involvement in the last year has been. But equally, when it came to the crunch, and I thought Rassie got his substitution spot on, Zels, in how he introduced players. And those oldies came to the fore again, and the youngsters didn't go away. Sasha was allowed to play. And Ethan Hooker continued to play. Damien dazzled from fullback with his feet. Maybe he's lost a yard, but he dazzled with his feet. It wasn't like we compromised anything to get the win. And I think the thing was at 29-30, we were in total control. One of those bizarre moments. Cheslin throws a speculator that on another day, they don't intercept. We score and we say it's a moment of genius. They score and they start getting a hint that they could actually be back in this game. But I felt the refereeing was good. I just felt we were in total control from the moment we started for halftime to that 15-minute period after halftime. And that is why we won the rugby championship.
Yeah. For me, so these 2 tests against Argentina, for me, have been the most valuable to the Boks. I think there's a lot of key learnings that they can take out of these. I think Argentina have asked the right questions of the Boks, and they're definitely a team in ascendancy. And one to watch out for. Felipe Contepomi's done an amazing job there. And, they also had to absorb losing Joel Sclavey just before the start of the game. They had that rookie, Rapetti, come off the bench, make his debut. So they also had some obstacles to deal with. I thought they put out a great performance. And tactically, I thought they asked the right questions of the Boks. And I credit to the Boks for being able to solve that stuff on the fly in the game. One guy we haven't mentioned, who we kind of threw some shade over this week. Thomas du Toit had an absolutely outstanding game, mate. Forget about his mobility. That scrum was absolutely powerful and potent in the first half. Thought he did a great job. Probably his best performance, maybe, for the Boks. So outstanding. We're in a great space if you consider the guys coming back from injury and the options available to us. We're in a really solid spot now, and we just keep building momentum. Every time you look again, the Boks have won something else.
Well, we lucky to have partnered with Pick and Pay's ASAP and the Shisa reward challenge, and you saw how I went with that. Not too good. Flaming hot sauce was who brings the heat today, and I think you mentioned it. Thomas du Toit brought the heat at starting tight, and Walker Lowe brings the heat every time he comes on. First three scrums he went down. He actually won penalties. The biggest surprise was how he was penalized on like the 14th scrum against them. On the whole, the stretch, the engage, and like, let's make sure there's no contact and I can actually give you guys some respite. But when that guy harbored off on cramp, the Argentinian, that wasn't cramp. That was, he saw that Walker Lowe was coming on. He's like, I'm not sticking.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, it's like he had just seen that source that I saw earlier in the week. Okay. And the cool thing is we're going to join you at the Stormers HBC on Monday morning before you guys head out to your Northern Hemisphere tour in the URC. I'm going to bring some of that sauce. I'm going to test Dobber and a few of the boys and see how the Oaks handle the sauce. But when you ask about who brings the heat, and I mean, we talk about Tony Ball, and you've been at the forefront of, hang on a second, guys, for the best part of 2 years. 40 kicks last week in Durban. It wasn't so much Tony Ball. There's been an evolution of the Boks through Tony Ball. He's a great attack coach. He adds great value, but he hasn't changed the fabric or the DNA of our game. We won today's test match because of a pack, starting 1 to 8, and whoever came on. That was going back to our DNA and what we know. We stayed in that contest for 40 minutes because we had 8 of the toughest forwards in the world. We took charge because we had guys coming off the bench who are as good, if not better. And in the end, we had enough on the scoreboard to win it because of the guys who played numbers 1 to 8, not who was playing in the 10 jersey, the 15 jersey, 14, 11, or 12 or 13.
Spot on, mate. But to be honest, today I don't actually care who, how, or why we won this game, mate. I'm just thrilled we won it again. And talking about bringing the heat, mate, that jacket does look snug. I can actually see a little bit of steam coming out the back there. You started quite pale. You've got a lot of color in your face right now. What is going on there, mate?
I would say that would have to be a combination of just pressure from the game, doing a few deadlines for SARugbymag, Sunday Times, KEO, and then maybe an odd yoga master that goes with the castles, man. That could be the reason for it. We are the castle rugby champions, and
I told you, unzip it, mate.
I'm starting to feel it now. But I had to have a chuckle again. John de Villiers, I really enjoy John. I mean, he is one. He's got a great sense of humor as well. And watching them post game, and he made the point that to Victor, that we're on top of the world tonight because we are the Castle Rugby Championship champions, title holders, back to back. This is the greatest Bok team we've ever seen. 32 from 38 wins. We end with 19 league points, 4 wins from 6, and New Zealand is in crisis. 4 wins from 6 with 19 league points. Scott Robinson won 7 out of 9 this season, and I want to fire him, mate. He went to
exactly
14 this morning, and it's just crazy when you think of expectation and when you think of standards that are set. And I'm always the first one to give New Zealand their dues in terms of what they achieved, the incredible run they had, especially under the mighty McCaw and Dan Carter. But Robinson has won 7 from 9 and 10 from 14 last year. He got knocked over by a South African team twice at home last year, lost by a point in Paris. If you want to put 2 question marks against him, he's got rolled at home by the Pumas, and they lost in Buenos Aires by a Puma side, as we said, that's beaten everyone in the last year. So we're not giving the Pumas enough credit for who they're knocking over. The Wallabies, we are raving about Joe Smith. We are raving about the Wallabies. The reality is they are 3 from 9. They won 2 from 6 in the rugby championship, and they won 1 from the British and Irish Lions. So everyone's saying, Joe Smith,
Yep.
stay on. You're the best. 3 from 9. Razor's got to go. 7 from 9.
He's got to go. But mate, I suppose you have to factor in history there. Obviously, you're not comparing apples to apples. Australia, that record is them improving, and this is the All Blacks in a relative slump. But for me, the sort of takeaway there is a win is a win, mate. If you win by 1 point, it's the same as if you win 43-10. I understand bonus points, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to win and win consistently. And the consistency hasn't been there for the Boks up until this last stretch now. And that's the encouraging part about it, right? We're starting to put wins together now. So let's hope we can use this runway to take off into the November tour, that 5-match tour, and continue the upward trajectory. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, and for those who said to me that this rugby championship meant nothing, Stuart Kelly in Bangkok, take note. What did Wellington? Wellington was
Name and shame him, mate.
Name him and shame him, Stuart Kelly, lovely bloke. He is a lovely bloke. But if we had not won in Wellington the way we did, we don't win the rugby championship. And so that was the decisive game. We both ended on 19 points, both four wins from 6. And the key was that we went to New Zealand and won 1 out of 2. Last year, they couldn't come here and win 1 out of 2. They lost both. So we are the deserved champions of the South, champions of the world.
I love it.
But on this very, very cool day for South African rugby supporters, and you and I both know Imad Griffiths, our wonderful videographer, wonderful producer, it's a day where he laid his dad to rest, Wesley Griffiths, who's a big, big Bok fan. I think he missed 2 games before he passed, and one was 43-10 in Wellington. And it would be a miss of me, Zels, not to take a Castilki, toast Mr. Griffiths, and say to him, you're looking down on us, but we're looking down on us as champions of the South, brother.
Beautiful, mate. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
I'm going to let you go off. I know Mighty Mac is in Joburg with Taryn doing amazing things as an 11-year-old in under 13 championships at the dance championships. I know you at home.
10-year-old, mate. 10-year-old.
Mate, okay. What about those 9-year-olds? You are doing amazing things with the Stormers. You've only conceded 10 points in 2 games. Kudos and credit. Imad, thanks, brother, for actually taking the time to record us today. I know it's been a big day for you,
yes,
emotional, but I know your old man would have been so chuffed that the Bokke are the rugby champions of the South to go with their back-to-back with the World Cup. And we are, to quote Mike Greenway, Bok to Bok.